Hi, welcome back to Dada's Old Legos. We've got two different sundials. These are built around the idea of getting this thing in plane with the path of the sun. So these are both facing north, like in the previous video, but we've got a slightly different one here. I was trying to make it so that the shadow of the central piece right here could go through and be read on both the top and the bottom. So if we're looking at this slightly different sundial, it's reading out a bit differently. It looks like it's around 8 or a bit after 8. And then on this sundial, it looks like it's reading after, was that 6, 7, 8, 9, so it's almost 9. So the actual time is actually 8:30, so it's somewhere between these two sundials. And if you look, the angle is slightly different, so that might be accounting for it. Also, the exact position of these hours they're approximates, so it's not perfect, right? I was trying to position them using trigonometry, so it's like, okay, I go down from here a certain length, and then I go over a certain length, and that should give me 30 degrees. And so that's essentially what I did to get these hours marked on these two different styles of sundials. Now, if you want to see the top, this is kind of cool. The shadow on this thing is pretty dope. I really like the shadow cutting through with this darker green center part and the lighter green surroundings. And it's kind of hard to read right now, but you can actually read this central arm and how it kind of cuts across on the shadow on this thing. Kind of harder when it's like at this time of day, but it's pointing somewhere over here. So it's around 6, 7, 8, yeah, like 8:30ish, a little bit after 8 when you're reading it that way. But it's kind of hard unless you've got your hand up there to read it that way. The neat thing about this one is I've set it up so that the central part can just be used both ways. So it's not exactly at the correct angle, but it's close. I'm gonna get with the other one, I'm just using that one to kind of guide. So this is set up roughly correctly. But as you can see, there's kind of an issue with the shadow here. It's still following the same pattern. It's a little bit after 8, not quite 9, but it's hard to read because of how the shadow falls. So this, I was thinking, has like a winter and summer mode, so you can kind of flip it as appropriate, because this is going to not be the best for reading it right now in winter, but during summer when the sun's kind of coming in from the top here, this would be ideal actually. So this one, slightly different adjustability for the summer winter patterns. Still can be read, but you kind of have to hold your hand up if it's on the sides. Later on in the day, it's pretty easy to read it just on the shadow on the other side. But yeah, that's the overarching idea with this neon sundial and the angles behind setting up the hours. It's kind of hard though to get them to be precise unless you're using like an actual circle.